Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We take your calls here nightly, as the show implies, 412-575-2600. That's the number of the Bordas & Bordas hotline. You can also hit me up on Twitter. It's at KDPomp. We have a lot to get into tonight. The Steelers coming off a loss, one that, man, it was a tale of two halves, as I said yesterday. They were really good offensively. I thought the best that we've seen all season long in the first half. Second half completely shut down, and I think that offense basically affected the defense, quite frankly, because it was a series of 3-and-outs. They didn't do anything to possess the ball. Next thing you know, Cincinnati had opportunities, and while the defense, made turnovers and gave them opportunities, the offense didn't do much with those turnovers, just turned them into 3 points each time. When you do that, you kind of invite the other team back into the game, and I'm not making excuses for the defense, because when you are as heavily invested in the defense as the Steelers are from a financial point of view, you expect better results. They were all out there with the exception of Ahkello Witherspoon. They should have done better in that game than they did. 4 touchdown passes allowed, and this is without Jamar Chase. This is without basically Joe Mixon. They had to go with Samaje Perine, who was a mismatch for the Steelers in well-executed screen passes. He had 3 touchdown passes. The Steelers go on and lose. Yesterday, 37-30. So they get a lot of offense, but they gave up far too many points. And now they're 3-7, which at this point means, given the Bears loss yesterday, they're 3-8. The Steelers have, at this point, the 8th pick, the 34th pick, and the 39th pick in the 2023 draft. That's essentially 3 first-rounders, when you think about it. Early second-rounders, and if the Bears continue to lose, that can move up even higher. So we'll see how that goes. But the Steelers have got a lot of work to do. They got a game coming up against the Colts on Monday night. 2 struggling teams, and that's not exactly a marquee matchup for Monday Night Football, but they can't flex out of that game, and that'll be the game. And the Steelers need to get it going against Jeff Saturday and his team, which lost yesterday at the very end of the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 9-1. It looked like the Colts would make it 2 in a row for Saturday, but they, at the end of the day, lost that game by 1 point against Philadelphia. So, things are really heating up at this point with a lot of teams. You watch Kansas City play and you say to yourself, my goodness, how good is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the rest of that group, because they just put up points when they have to. 14-0 is Mahomes in division games. That's ridiculous. Away games. He hasn't lost a game against those teams on the road. That's saying a lot for Mahomes and company. So at this point, they look like they're the best team in the AFC. Buffalo, I expect to get back in that picture. Although, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Detroit will beat Buffalo on Thanksgiving Day. Chris Mueller, is he there? Gentleman in the control room. Okay, not yet? All right. Well, Chris should be there hopefully soon, up at 93.7 The Fan. In the meantime, we'll just continue to talk here, and we'll take your calls, as I said, at 412-575-2600. Penguins coming off a nice win last night. They were in Chicago, and Chicago's not exactly a high-energy team these days. They still have Taves and Kane, but they have a lot of young players. They're kind of going through a transition still. And the Penguins beat them 5-3 last night, or 5-2, I'm sorry, was that final score. No, 5-3 was right. Sidney Crosby got the game-winning goal. He also got #1 star of the week this week in the NHL, and why not? He has been outstanding. And the Penguins offset that 7-game losing streak with a 3-game winning streak, which means they're coming home on Wednesday night to face a Calgary team that won tonight in Philadelphia. By the way, New Jersey, I don't know if you're paying attention to this, the Devils are red hot. They won their 13th game in a row tonight. So that means that they're 1 away from the all-time franchise record. The last time they did that was 2001, and in that season they won a Stanley Cup championship. So the Devils are good. The Metropolitan's good. The Penguins needed to win 3 in a row, and they got to keep winning to get themselves in a position to be, a fixture in the playoffs, at least have a good opportunity in the first round, which they've not survived the last several years. 412-575-2600 is the number. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back, open up the phone lines, and hopefully at that point Chris will join us. We want to hear from you on the Steelers, on the Penguins. Anything else you want to talk about is fine by us. This is your place to air your opinions. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh's DW.